Hi. Wow, this is a long time coming. It is August, and in February, I quit my job to focus on this. I was working for an amazing company. I love all the people. They're called Body Rock, and they're like a fitness health company, and they're international and a great job. But it wasn't right. I was talking to women of all ages and all stages in their life, about how to get fit and healthy, and my heart, every time a woman who was single and dating and sad messaged us and I would respond to them, my heart would just break. I I have put off doing this video for months because my apartment hasn't been clean, or my branding hasn't been set up, or I I feel like I'm having an ugly day. Um, but I'm launching into this now because I have to. I have a timeline now, which I'll explain in a minute. Um, this website, 30 something female.com, is about is about dating in your 30s, when everything is so much harder for women. Especially, this is a site for women, and it's a site for women in North America because that's the context I'm in. Just navigating that whole difficult difficult time. One of the things that's put off, that made me put off doing this introductory video, is going through my old journals and blog posts. I had a dating blog. I still kind of do with this site, and it was so hard to read what I was going through. It was so painful. It was so raw, and I just felt hopeless every day. I felt hopeless because I wanted a family. I wanted to reach that stage in my life where I had a partner, and the possibility of getting pregnant, and I was 31, 32, and nothing seemed to be working. No one seemed to want to be with me, and I slowly just internalized everything that I was getting from the universe, and I became worse and worse. I was depressed. I was unhealthy. I was doing unhealthy things, and I had no hope, no concept that anything would change. There are two things that I've heard recently. One was in a podcast called The Longest Shortest Time, which is really good. It's actually about parenting, but they have some interesting things to say. And one of the podcasts talked about that backwards counting that you do as a woman in your 30s, where you're like, okay, I need to have a baby by age 36. I'll go crazy if I don't. So you count backwards. So you're like, okay, if it's 36, I would like at least 2 years with someone before I get pregnant. So that's 34, and then how, like, would that be marriage or just moving in together? So at least I'd like to know that person for at least 2 years or 3 years before that. So you sort of go back until you realize that you have to do something about your life at age 31 or 30 or 29, whatever age that is. You've counted backwards, and you feel like, if I don't meet someone by age 31, I'm fucked. It's never gonna happen because I won't have that kid by age 36. And I did that endlessly, that endless counting, and it was it put so much pressure on every single date I went on, and every single time I met someone, I was like, this is great, but do you think that he would be ready in 2 years? And you listen to everything he says, like, oh, he's interested in this course in the Yukon or some, Boston. So you're like, okay, so that's going to be 6 months he's going to be away. Am I still in my timeline? Am I still in my timeline? And it's just, it's the worst. It's the worst kind of math to be doing when you're trying to meet someone and get to know them. And so it ends up not working out so much. you end up just you end up just not finding someone. Over and over, you end up just ruining things. Have you been there? Do you know what I'm talking about? Are you going through that? If you're still watching this, then you know what I'm talking about. That the other thing I wanted to mention was I forget where I read it. Oh, it was such a good article. I'd try to find it, maybe post the link. But it was about loneliness and about, I think the article was called like ordering for one or something, like ordering takeout for one person. And this woman was talking about how she's trying to explain loneliness and the loneliness that you feel, especially in your 30s when you're going home alone and you're doing it day after day after day. And that feeling is like the best way she could describe it is if you forgot to turn, you know, that feeling where you forget to turn off, you think you forgot to turn off the oven and you're just going and you're like, oh God, did I turn off the oven? And for a second you kind of have vertigo and you're like, it was the best description of that piercing feeling of loneliness that I've ever heard. Because that's what it is. It's like a split second panic before your intellect comes in and reminds you that, it's ridiculous to be panicking. You're just going to go home alone. You actually love Netflix and eating by yourself in front of it. And there's nothing essentially wrong, or you're not in crisis in that moment. But you're kind of in that panic state so much, and every once in a while it kind of just peaks, and that's the feeling it is. It's like that, fuck, I don't want to go. I don't want to go home alone. I don't want to walk up those stairs. I don't want to open that door to that cold, empty apartment. Maybe there's a cat or maybe there's a dog, but there's just no person in your bed. Nobody who loves you. And you feel left out of everything that other people are experiencing. You feel left out of love and dating and discovering someone and just having someone. Just having a person in your corner that believes in you, that is looking forward to seeing you, and it's so hard. I'm going to veer away from everyone else in your life, all the advice that you're getting from everyone else. I got it all too. Women saying and friends of, all kinds of friends saying, you deserve love, and it'll happen when you're ready, and it'll definitely happen. Just, he's right around the bend. I'm going to be really upfront with you because I know what I'm talking about. I've seen it with myself and with dozens and dozens of friends and people I know. It's not right around the corner, probably. If you're in that state that I was in, that constant cycle of like loneliness and making mistakes and believing in a guy that is, or a girl who is like not into you and not there, it's not around the corner. You need to do some serious work to figure this out. I did it. And it took me maybe 2 or 3 months of serious work before I found the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. I don't want to be mean, but when your friends say you deserve to be loved, it's true and it's not true. I am going to say to you right now at this moment, You don't deserve it. I mean, yes, everyone deserves to be loved. Everyone on the planet. Life is precious. People are amazing. But having someone agree to cleave their life to yours, financially, emotionally, physically, you need to be ready for that, and you need to do work on yourself in order to be deserving of that honor. It's an honor. It's a privilege. It's an insane gift that someone's giving you. Their life. They're giving you their life. Do you deserve to have someone else's life? Do you deserve to take responsibility for their happiness, for their well-being, for their day-to-day sanity? Can you help them? Can you help them through a crisis right now when you're dealing with your own issues with like a little bit of self-absorption and feeling sorry for yourself and panicking and all of those things? Believe me, I'm not judging you. I've been there. I know what you're talking. I know what you're dealing with. But all I can say is I was a mess. I was a mess and I was dating. Like like Jillian Jacobs in Love. That's a great show. You should watch it. I think Paul Rust is the other co-star. So good because the main character is a total train wreck. She is. But she's still trying to meet someone. She's still putting herself out there. And then she sort of stops and pulls back and tries to work on herself. And things get better. Um, what work should you do? That's the biggest question. What, what? I'm going to tell you what to do. That's what this site is for. I'm going to help you through it. I'm going to create a group and we're going to talk about it together. We're going to stop dating assholes together. We're going to stop dating these guys that are hot and funny and maybe a bit older and like covered in tattoos or whatever your thing is. Here's what I was doing. I was dating these guys thinking that even though they didn't want a girlfriend, it seemed pretty clear that that was the common factor amongst all of them, that they didn't really want me in their life on a regular basis. I figured they would just fall in love with me and begin to want that. I mean, that's what happens in the movies, right? They will one day just wake up, probably beside me, and look at me and think, yes, I'm ready. That is never going to happen with these guys. Either they meet you in a place in their life where they want a partner, or they don't. They don't want a partner, and they're not going to change their mind just because you wore that dress, or quoted that line from that movie, or referenced that obscure song lyric. Forget it. You can't change them. You can only change yourself. I'm gonna help you, and there are some things that I wrote an ebook about what I did, and I charge for that, and I'm very self-conscious about the fact that I'm trying to charge for some of the things I'm saying and doing because I think help should be free. But like I said, I want to make this my life's work. I'm so passionate about helping women through this stage of their life and letting go of these like sick cycles that we get in. And I know it may seem disingenuous for me to be charging for stuff and talking about this and then all like making a business out of it. It seems so weird, but it's the only way I can make this sustainable. I'm not wealthy, so um, so yeah, I'm sorry. That's gonna be part of what I do. But but what I'm gonna say to you works. It works. I've talked to so many women, And let me give you an example. I did this stuff. I met Damien. He's 9 years younger than me. Crazy. Um, and he was just immediately like, when I met him, I was like, oh, this is what they mean when it happens fast. I'm not remarkable really in any way. I'm average looking. I've average intelligence. I've average height, and I'm more or less funny or whatever. Um, but it happened for me because I met the right person at the right time in his life, and I was looking for him. I wasn't looking for the same guy I had been looking for 5 years of hell. I was finally looking for the right guy, or girl if you're gay. Like, none of this has to be gender specific. I know that a lot of people would say that it is, but I don't believe it is. I think it's all about you. And whomever you're looking for, that person can't find you until you are ready, until you are deserving. So I met Damien, and when I found out I was pregnant, we'd only known each other for like 9 months. So look at this. It can happen really fast. Like, a year and a half ago, I was alone and so lonely and like on antidepressants, and I was like drinking, and I was a bit chubby. I am now too, but for a different reason. But I was um I was unwell, and I was so sad. And then I did a few things. I will definitely get into what I did in more videos. It's not all going to be paid content, but I I believe that there is someone for you out there. You don't have to be a supermodel. You don't have to be wicked intelligent. You don't have to be anything extraordinary. You can be extraordinary just for being who you are. I make my boyfriend so happy, and he makes me so happy. And it is honestly like, I know it's really painful for you to hear this, but love, when you find it, it is everything you think it will be. It is. You want this. I know some of you have been out there dating in this sick cycle for so long that you think, well, fuck it, maybe I'll just adopt, or maybe I'll just give up and not date and not do it, not even try. But believe me, if you really want to meet someone and you look for that person and then you find that person, you'll never regret. It makes up for all of the years of pain. It really does. I want that for you. Everyone, every single person listening to this, I want that for you. And if I could be a small part of helping you get there, that, like, that is what I want to do. I'm more passionate about helping you out of this lonely cycle than anything, except maybe this baby that's growing inside of me. But I want all of you to reach your dream, have your dreams realized, and reach your goals, and to be happy. Okay, it's a really long video. I don't even know how to end it because I just want to stay with you. I just don't want to end it. But I should, because I'm tired now and I'm out of things to say for today. So check out my site. I have a few blog posts about just words of wisdom I feel like really helped me, and it's called 30 somethings 30somethingfemale.com. I've only been working on it for 6 months. Just blanked on the name. Um, and stay tuned because I'll have more things to say to you. The next thing I want to talk about is how I feng shuied my bedroom like a month before I met Damien, and I really feel like it's maybe silly, but it helped. Like it it did something. Anyway, okay. See you next time.